Hello again, this is Gordon Banks. Here's the book, Easiest Beginner Piano Method, Book 2. It's a continuation from Book 1. Both books are available on Amazon. One of the things I need to mention about these books, we are still on the same locked position, home position of C, D, E, F, G for the left hand and right hand songs. And that means we've covered 5 notes in each hand, a total of 10 keys, whereas the lines and spaces of a staff, if you count them all up, we've got 21 notes that are placed on these lines and spaces to give us 21 different keys on the piano. In order for us to identify these, the easiest way to do it would be every good boy does fine, which is for the lines of the right hand, and the spaces of the right hand would be F-A-C-E, face. The same deal with left hand, the lines from bottom up, Great Big Dreams for America, that's G-B-D-F-A, and the spaces would be All Cows Eat Grass, A-C-E-G. And then we have B at the top of the left hand, then we have middle C, and then we have D again hanging on the bottom of the right hand, and then off we go into the lines and spaces. So the easiest way to learn all this is to buy music flashcards and keep the phrases in mind and use the phrases when trying to identify each flashcard as you pull it out of the deck. I would start on that, do a little bit each day, and that way once you're done with this next book, your counting will be real strong, and then you can start focusing on hitting the keys that need to be played on songs you buy on the music racks. Okay, the next item that I want to go over is what happens when we start playing more complicated songs, more complicated music, where the left hand and the right hand both get kind of busy. Now, some of us by now know, just from having the first book, that we are a bit challenged when it comes to coordinating our left hand and our right hand, finding the proper keys and the proper count. It's just, it can be overwhelming. Now, if you have this problem, we can simplify the left hand and then focus more on the melody, which is the part people tend to recognize. If we take a look at this, here's a typical piece of music. You've got the left hand, you've got the right hand, you have words in between the two hands, and then you have these letters up above the right hand area. These are called chord symbols. They represent a group of keys that can be pushed down that will complement the melody, that they'll sound good with the melody. Now, for our purposes, you don't need to learn the group of keys. All you need to do is be able to recognize that that's a C, and you can push the key, the left hand key C, down on count 1. Generally, the letter will be above count 1. Sometimes it's above count 3, but in general, it would be above count 1. Then here's one, this is a G. You could play a G key with your left hand on count 1. You can now play a C key with your left hand on count 1. It's kind of like a bass guitar. If a bass guitar was playing along with your piano, he'd be looking, or he or she would be looking at the letters to see which string to pop. And you can do the same with your piano. So that way, if you have problems coordinating your hands or following just the busyness of the song, you can simplify the song in the left hand by just following chord symbols as they come along. Notice there's no chord symbol on this second measure. That means that you stay with the C for the second measure. You'll find songs that will have, for instance, here's Jingle Bells, and there's a C for the C chord, but there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. What this indicates is that you're going to play a C on the first count of each of these following measures. You play your C key until you see another chord symbol. In this case, there's an F right there. Then you would change your finger, your left hand finger, to an F. And then you can focus on your right hand melody. Okay, the next thing we want to deal with is eighth notes. What's an eighth note? An eighth note, 2 eighth notes can be played in the same amount of time that you play a single quarter note. These are what eighth notes look like. They look like quarter notes, except they have a flag. These are 2. They have a flag attached to each. These are 4 eighth notes, again with the flag or a bar attaching all of those. When we count eighth notes, anytime we find eighth notes in a song, we can start counting using the word and in between each number. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Nice and steady. So you're basically going, if I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just going to put the and in between. So now it's going to be 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Nothing has changed with my 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. But now what I've done is made room to accurately place eighth notes. So I'm going to play 4 quarter notes, counting 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Then here we have 8 eighth notes. That'll cover the 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. It'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, the count has not changed. It hasn't speeded up, hasn't slowed down. And now I can accommodate eighth notes. Okay. And so that's it for this particular lesson. The next lesson we will cover a little bit more on eighth notes. Thank you.